Hey everybody, Mike B here with another video for you today. Today we're going to be going over my top 5 favorite bayonet designs, and it's kind of hard to narrow it down, but based on a bunch of different factors like aesthetics, functionality, practicality, and just a bunch of other nuanced stuff that's strictly my opinion and not totally facts. Some of them are facts, most of it's my opinion, that's why it's my top 5 favorites. Anyway, we're going to just start here. They're 19th century all the way to modern day. So number 5 on my list of top 5 favorite bayonets is going to be the Argentina Model 1891 sword bayonet. These things were designed and produced in Germany for the Argentina Model 1891 Mauser rifle. It's also used on the Model 1909 rifle, which is pretty neat. It's a very interesting bayonet. I like it just because of its absolute beauty. This is just a real work of art here. These are made in Germany. Again, this was made by Kirschbaum and Company in Solingen. Weiersberg, Kirschbaum and Company, Solingen. So these are just, I think, one of the most beautiful late 19th century bayonets ever made, and these were used well into the 20th century as well. So it also looks great on the rifle, and although I've made other videos in the past of showing you how these things mount, I'm just going to keep it simple, and you're just going to have to take my word for it or Google it or whatever. So these are so nice. They got I think it's an 18-inch blade on there. The really nice aluminum handle, or it might be steel, but that's rusted, that's not, or that is patina, that doesn't, so I'm going to assume it's aluminum. It's one of my favorite designs. I got this bayonet before I even had an 1891 Argentine Mouse, just because of the fact that it's so aesthetically pleasing, and they're getting harder to find. So yeah, number 5 on that is going to, or on this list is going to be the 1891 Argentine Mauser sword bayonet. Number 4 on our list is going to be the Swiss Model 1918 bayonet, designed for the K11 rifles and the later K31 rifles. This is one of the most aesthetically pleasing bayonets ever produced, in my opinion. Look at this, it's just amazingly well crafted. This one was made by Waffenfabrik Neuhausen, and it's got, there's no fuller in this one, which I actually like, and it's pretty easy to handle. They're very sharp, double-edged, which is a very nice feature for this. It does look great on those rifles that I just mentioned. You just have to take my word for it. And yeah, just the way these look, the simplicity. And these have, I believe, it's a 13-inch blade on there, something like that, 12 or 13 inches, which makes it not too short, not too long. It was one of the shorter bayonets that was actually adopted by a military in the 20th century when bayonets started to become shorter, so it's also got some history there. And these were used for a long time until the late 1950s on the K31 rifles. So again, I just love the aesthetics of this. It's just such a well-designed, I'm sorry, yeah, I suppose it would help if it was in frame. It's just such a well-designed, it's a pretty nice balanced knife too. If you had to use it for a fighting knife, you could. But again, I love the fact that it's double-edged. There's not a lot of bayonets that have double edges on them, and this one does, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. So, all right, we will move on to number 3. Number 3, oddly enough, is another Swiss bayonet. The Swiss know how to make really aesthetically pleasing things that are shiny and catch my eye, and I really like them. This is the Sturmgewehr 57 bayonet that was used on the Sturmgewehr 57 until it was replaced in the 90s and some late 80s by the SIG 55 series. And so these things were surplused out, and I've always loved these things. They've got a nice, robust plastic handle on them, so it can be used as a fighting knife if need be. It's shorter than the 1918 bayonet, but I like it. The blade is thicker, but it's also got that double edge on it, which I really do like. Now, what's really cool about this is, yeah, Sturmgewehr 57s are pretty hard to get, but if you own a SIG 556, you can actually get a custom bayonet lug that allows you to mount this to that rifle, which I did on my 556R. And let me tell you, it looks so badass. It's got that nice Swiss bayonet look to it, the heritage, and it's nice to have it on a Swiss designed rifle of mine. So yeah, these things are fantastic. I've always loved these. Had one when I was a kid and then somehow lost it. I'm pretty sure it was stolen, but hey, I'll just give people the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, this is my 3rd top favorite bayonet design of all time, and it's not necessarily, it's the perfect combination of hideous and beautiful. Again, gotta be in frame. I think it's the perfect combination of hideous and beautiful. This little system's kind of weird. It's not my favorite, but we can deal with that. But it's a very simple design, and it's very effective. So number 3 on our list is the Sturmgewehr 57 bayonet. And number 2 on our list is going to be a more recent design that was adopted, I believe, in the late 2000s or early 2010s by the United States Marine Corps. This is the OKC-3S Combat, better known as the bayonet for the M16A4 service rifle and the M4 carbine. So I think that the whole idea behind this was to have a K-bar-esque looking bayonet that could, you know, be attached. Because I'm sure for years the Marines were like, hey, why don't they just make a K-bar that we can attach to our rifles, you know, as a bayonet, and kind of keep the Marine Corps spirit alive and all that stuff. So this is what they came out with. And you can see it's very reminiscent of the K-bar. Sorry, it's not focusing. I don't know why it's not focusing. You got these nice serrations right here, which is actually pretty useful for cutting through stuff like rope and whatnot. And the rest of it's doing, you got this top edge on there, which I don't know what that's called. You knife guys that know better than I do what that's called. And then a really sharp, really nice edge here, yeah, on the bottom. So not only can this be a good bayonet, stabby and slashing tool, but also a good fighting knife. It's actually a decent size. It's a little bit big, but hey, it's about the size of a K-bar, so you can actually get right in there. And if you can't get to a K-bar and you need this, it's got a nice heavy-duty rubber handle that's very comfortable. And then, of course, you've got the Eagle Globe and Anchor in the, and then, or that says USMC, but you've got the Eagle Globe and Anchor on this side. Why is this not focusing? Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so yeah, it's a really cool bayonet, and the only thing that I'm not a fan of is a couple features that our next knife has that actually the scabbard has. This one's got, you know, it's got a little mini whetstone there so you can hone the blade a little bit, but I'll show you my number 1 choice right now. For those of you that know me and have been watching the channel for a while, you probably guessed correctly. It is the US M9 bayonet. Now, this was introduced, I believe, in the mid-1980s, early 1990s, and this is one of the original Frobus ones, Frobus 3. It's got that nice steel raw blade on it. And this is my favorite bayonet for several reasons. One, it's a good, like, Rambo-looking fighting knife, right? It was actually patterned a lot off of the Soviet AKM second pattern, or first pattern, or both of them. Bayonet with the serrations right there to kind of act as a saw, and you can file stuff down on there. The nice rubber handle. I love this rubber handle a lot. It's a hard rubber handle. Could be plastic, but it's got a little bit of give to it. And then, yeah, it's got the familiar M16 style mount for the M16 series of weapon. Anyway, I like this because it serves several purposes. You got that nice fuller right there to kind of aid in removing it from, we'll just say, soft and fleshy targets. But not only that, you have this scabbard that is super heavy duty, can be used as a weapon on its own if you need to. The thickness of this blade, too, is what I really like. I liked it with the OKC-3S as well. And I really like thick blades for fighting knives because it means that you probably have a less chance of them breaking off in a target or using it to hack something, like using it sort of as a hatchet if you don't have one. But they used the Soviet AKM design, and they came up with this wire cutter that's integral into the scabbard on the bottom. You just simply place the blade like that, and then you've got a wire cutter right there. And the blade, since this is rubber and then the scabbard is made out of plastic, it's actually insulated, so you're able to cut through electric wires without a hazard, and they didn't need to put a separate insulator like they did on the AKM bayonet that moves. So that's a pretty cool feature. Also, you've got your whetstone on the back. This one's a little bit worn, but yeah, you can hone the blade right there. I know you should get it wet. I'm just giving you an example, and for those of you that don't like that noise, ha ha ha. Anyway, so it's got the integral whetstone built into that. This is the pouch right here, tool pouch for accessories to take care of the bayonet, or a lot of people that I know just put an M9 magazine in there. And yeah, it clips onto the belt like that. But anyway, this bayonet is just a fantastic design. I absolutely love this design. Always will. This is one of my favorite knives, period. And it's just such a useful tool. And I think that if you're going to have something that you're carrying around that's going to be this heavy, it should serve more than one purpose, and the M9 definitely does. The OKC-3 is really good too. I just don't think it's as versatile as this, but I like them almost equally. This one's just going to beat it out every time. So there you have it, everybody. Let me know what you think. Again, these are just my opinions. This is my personal preference. You guys might not agree with me, and that's totally fine. As long as you just understand where I'm coming from, we can agree to disagree. But I still want to hear what your top 5 favorite designs would be from 5 to 1. So go ahead and put those in the comments, and then we'll see if we agree or if we disagree, or if I can see where you're coming from on certain other ones that I probably would have put in the list if I had to just pick 5, maybe 10. But yeah, let's get some conversation going. And also, if you like this content, you like the rest of my content, and you want to support my work financially, you certainly can. There's 2 ways to do that. One, you can become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button below or clicking the link to Patreon in the description. Patreon has a couple more perks than becoming a YouTube channel member though, because sometimes I do exclusive podcasts that I'll put on only Patreon, and I'm going to start making some exclusive content for my patrons on there that's not going to be on YouTube or kind of, whatever. Anyway, so that's a perk that you get. And $5 a month on either method of support gets you into my Discord server, which is another cool thing. I like hanging out in there. A lot of really cool people in there. A lot of fun times. We learn a lot, exchange information, blah, blah, blah. So you guys get the idea. If you want to support me, but you can't do that financially, you know how to do it. You can just like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this video out. And if you thought it was interesting and whatnot, I think it's interesting. I love this stuff. It's amazing. So anyway, that's if you want to help support my channel. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. I get that. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.